Kate's in the kitchen, and you're invited too. I'm Kate, and this is my kitchen. It's Asian Pacific Islander month, so I'm going to whip up a chicken stir fry. We're going to have 3 steps to this recipe, and I'm going to start first with the chicken. I have 2 chicken breasts, and I cut them up into about 1/2-inch chunks. I've had them marinating for about 45 minutes or so. A 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce, 1 tablespoon of hoisin, and then about 2 cloves of finely minced garlic. And I just have that sitting aside, and we're going to move on to the rice because that's going to take the longest to cook. I have 2 cups of rice. I'm going to need a whole box of chicken stock. I use unsalted, and I add my own salt. I've got about 1 tablespoon of garlic and about 1 teaspoon of fresh ginger. So the rice isn't going to be bland and boring. It's going to have flavor of its own to complement the stir fry. I'm going to put a little bit of oil into this pan, and I'm going to add the rice. Anytime I'm cooking rice, I like to toast it just a little while before I add the liquid. So we're just going to give that about a minute to toast up. I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken stock to start with. I'm going to put in my ginger. And my garlic. And you need between 1 teaspoon and 2 teaspoons of salt for this amount of rice. I'm just going to eyeball it. You need to put the rice and the salt together right in the beginning so that the salt cooks into the rice and isn't just a salty flavor sitting on top of the rice at the end. When I cook rice, I tend to do it risotto style without the lid and stirring it frequently and adding the liquid a little bit at a time. But for Asian cooking, I'm going to do a more traditional method of cooking rice, which is to put all the liquid in and put the lid on and just let it cook. So I want to bring it up to a boil and then turn it down immediately to a simmer and let it cook until it's tender. For the vegetable portion, I've got some green beans that I blanched and then I put them in an ice bath to stop them from cooking, because green beans take a little bit longer to cook than most of the rest of this stuff. I've got 1 can of sliced water chestnuts. I've got a couple of carrots that I sliced into little bâtons, as they call them in France. About 1/2 cup of chopped onion, 1/2 cup of bell pepper. You can use whatever kind you like. I've got about 1/4 cup of chopped hot red peppers, 1/2 cup of celery, and a good tablespoon of garlic. And then I had some cabbage left from making egg rolls. So I'm just going to throw this in at the very end. It is already cooked, so I just need to heat this up. So this is what's going into my stir fry. You can put anything in you want. Broccoli, bamboo shoots, just about any kind of vegetable you like. You could put greens in there. You could put peas in. This is what I'm putting in tonight because this is what I had in the refrigerator and in the cupboard. Rice is simmering away. The last thing I'm going to do before I start the actual stir fry is make a little slurry to thicken up the sauce. So I've got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm going to add just some of my chicken stock. Just mix that up into it's not really a paste, it's a little thinner than that. And I'm just going to set this aside so I have it ready to go once everything's stir fried, and I want to make the quick sauce at the end. I'm ready to stir fry. I've got my pan hot. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the bottom. I don't want to use olive oil for this because olive oil will burn at the higher temperatures more quickly than something like canola oil. Plus, canola oil has a very neutral flavor. They're ready to go. I'm going to dump all the chicken in. I'm going to use long handle tongs so that I don't get splattered. And we want to cook this quickly. That's why I have it hot. And you see how quickly that chicken, even at room temperature, cools down the pan. So we got to keep it hot and cook it quickly. I don't have a traditional wok, but I do have this very deep pan that's kind of a cross between a wok and a saucepan. I use it for a lot of things. And this chicken, you can see, is cooking very quickly, almost ready to come out. And you notice I didn't strain off the marinade. I just left it in there. It's cooking down, getting syrupy, and it'll be the basis for our sauce. I'm going to take this out into a clean bowl. You do not want to use the bowl that we marinated it in because that's got raw chicken juice in it. The other reason I love this pan is it's the best nonstick pan I've ever had. I dumped that chicken and sticky sauce out, and the pan is almost clean. I didn't have to wipe it down or anything. All right, we're going to put in just a little bit of oil again. And we're going to start our vegetables. Just give that a minute to get hot. Going to start with the carrots because they do take the longest to cook. And I'm going to put the onions in at the same time. One of the secrets to stir fry is knowing the cook time of your vegetables. Some people say cut everything the same size so it'll cook the same time. It's not true. A carrot sliced this size is going to take a lot longer to cook than, say, a bell pepper of the same size. So I always get my carrots and onions going first. And then I'm going to add the bell pepper. And you can see I added very little fat, oil. I don't need a lot. I've got my water chestnut. You can see the carrots are getting brighter as they start to cook. My green beans. Spicy peppers, and celery, I want to keep this moving so nothing burns. The sauce is getting thick. I'm going to give it a taste for salt level. You may have noticed I did not add any salt when I was making this. And that's because there's plenty of salt in the soy sauce and the hoisin. But this does need a little bit, so I'm going to add about a tablespoon of soy. And then I will serve it on the table with soy as well if people want it even saltier. I think that's ready to go. The vegetables are cooked, but they still got some texture to them. You can see the carrot is not limp. The chicken is cooked through. I don't want to cook anymore and get it tough. So time to serve up. I'm going to start with a generous serving of rice. And now I'm going to give an equally generous serving of the chicken and vegetables, making sure to get some of that beautiful sauce as well. Now you could go American style and put those crispy noodles on top, but I think this is beautiful in itself with the different colors of the vegetables. Time to eat. Give it a taste. Get a little vegetable, a little piece of chicken there. It looks pretty hot. Woo! Hot and delicious. I'm gonna eat this whole bowl.